All this week, we've talked about different elements of the CEO method. And on today's show, we're going to talk about why focusing on these three pillars inside of your successful landscaping company is one of the keys to success. So stay tuned, and we're going to break it all down. I'm Gabe Arnold, and this is the Green Mountain Podcast. We are the champions who brave the elements to create beauty. We see chaos and create order. We are never afraid of hard work, and we understand the power of strategic thinking and intentional actions. We come from all walks of life, and we will never allow our past to determine our future potential. We create beauty around the homes of our customers and increase the value of our community with the work that we do every day. We understand the power of consistent branding because it helps us grow and serve all those around us. We practice effective sales so our company, employees, and community can benefit from the value we add. We intentionally invest in operational habits that help us deliver excellent results to our customers on a continual basis. We understand that powerful and beautiful things take time to grow, and with consistent watering and intention, amazing results can happen. We are committed to making the world a better place by being positive examples to all those around us. We don't allow anyone to look down on us because we know the value we bring to our community as leaders. We create positive workplaces for our employees so they feel safe and supported, and at the same time, we hold ourselves to high standards. We pursue excellence on a daily basis because we know the journey is worth the sacrifice. We are the protectors of the land. We are the guardians of beauty. We are the heroes. We are landscapers. I think most of us that have started a business, whether it's on the side and we're trying to build it up so we can go full-time, or if it's full-time and our business is growing, I think most of us got into being in having a landscape business or being entrepreneurs because we had big goals and dreams. And I've had thousands of conversations with entrepreneurs over the last 25 years. And if I could summarize what most entrepreneurs want, and this may resonate with you or may not, most entrepreneurs want freedom of time and freedom of money. So we start a business and we grind it out and we work hard because we know ultimately if we do the right things, we'll have more time on our hands and we won't have to be the one doing the work every day, but we can manage the business. And if we achieve that goal, then ideally we're achieving our second goal of freedom of money, which means we have a growing business, we have cash in the business, we have cash personally because we're able to pay ourselves well. And we're able to really have the freedom of money to buy the house we want, go on the vacations we want, put our kids in the school we want to do. Whatever it is that our goals are, freedom of time and freedom of money are basically the bottom line results that we're looking for. And it's because we know those are the big goals, oftentimes we'll look at it and say, okay, so what's my goal for this year? Like, I want to double the number of accounts I have, or I want to hit this revenue number. We often have those kind of big goals, but then most of the time that's where it breaks and falls down for people because they know I want to double my accounts this year, or I want to hit this revenue level, or I want to add 2 more crews, or however you visualize that goal. If that's the only thing you have in mind, which is a goal that's a year out, and you don't know the steps to take every day, then it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to hope. And with having that intention and that goal, you will move towards it. But if you don't have the right methodology or operating system inside your business, then it's going to be a struggle to get there. So we talk a lot about the CEO method because it gives you a framework and a path and a process that will allow you to consistently work on the right areas of your business. And each of these 3 pillars of the business continue to grow and grow overall equally. That's what really gives you freedom of time and freedom of money in the long run. So the 3 pillars that we always talk about here at Landscape Marketing Hero are consistent branding, making sure that you're out there in front of new prospects who should become your customers, and your branding in front of applicants who should become your perfect employees or your ideal employees. Maybe not everybody's perfect, but ideal employees that show up consistently, do great work. So consistent branding is the first pillar. The second pillar is effective sales. If you continue to optimize your sales and you have a higher percentage of close rate, so like if you get 10 appointments and right now you're closing 3 of those into customers, you want to get that to 4 customers out of 10, and then 5, and then 6. And you can really push that close percentage up very high. So consistent branding is first. That gives the opportunity to move to sales. then effective sales, you're selling profitably to the right customers, and then operational habits, like we talked about yesterday. That's the O in the CEO method. When you have consistent, strong operational habits, you're building a culture and an organization that's high performance, that knows your team knows what to do and when, and you offload decision making so you're not making all the decisions. So what I'd encourage you to do today is looking at those three categories in the CEO method: consistent branding, effective sales, and operational habits. Just jot down for yourself and score yourself 1 to 10 on each of those areas. If you think your branding is working great, you got tons of leads coming in, you got the right employees coming to apply, then maybe that's a 9 or a 10. If effective sales, maybe you're only getting 1 or 2 people to sign an agreement with you, or sign a deal, or sign that contract, or accept that proposal out of 10 that you go visit. Maybe you score that a 4 or 5. It's just completely subjective on how you're feeling about it. But think about the data you have, think about the experiences you've had. And then with operational habits, ask yourself, if I were to go to any employee on my team, and even if it's just you and one other person to start right now, if you were to ask yourself, do I use a consistent process every day that I show up to work, every time I reach a customer's property, every time I wrap up the day? Do I have consistent processes that really drive operational habits? So score each of those 1 to 10, 1 being terrible and it needs a ton of work and it's just not good at all, and 10 being ideal and it's working really smoothly. When you score each of those, you can then pick the one that has the lowest score. Maybe it was consistent branding, maybe it's effective sales, maybe it's operational habits. But if you choose the one that has the lowest score, that's where you can focus your efforts in the coming 90 days. And I always like to use a 90-day, quarter long, a quarter or the next 90 days, however you do your planning. I like to use that timeline because it gives me a long enough window to make a significant improvement, but it's not 12 months away. So I'm like, oh, I hope I double my accounts, or I hope we get better at sales, or I hope we get more leads from our branding and the work that we're doing, attracting good customers and employees. Using that 90-day window, you can say at the end of 90 days, I want to have increased my consistency in branding so that I'm posting more frequently and people know what I'm doing. I want to, or maybe it's in sales, I want to have a better first call process so that I book more appointments from when people reach out. Or maybe it's in effective sales, you're like, I'm only closing like 3 in 10 deals. I want to get that to 4. So what am I going to invest in? What am I going to learn? I'm going to review my sales process like we talked about on an earlier episode this week. But whichever the lowest score is, that can be your focus for the next 90 days. And then at the end of 90 days, you can see what results you got. You can see what worked, what didn't work. And then you can do this scoring exercise again. And you can choose the one with the lowest score. And that way, over the course of the year, you're using the CEO method. You're investing in each of the 3 pillars, and you're leveling each one up as you go. And it gives you something new to work on, different than the last quarter. Typically, maybe sometimes you work on the same thing 2 quarters in a row, but you can move to the next lowest score pillar. And when you're doing that, the great thing about having a process and a methodology like this is it keeps us from getting distracted and wanting to do new things that aren't directly related to our goal. Or if we get bored in operational habits and we feel like we've made some progress, as entrepreneurs and people running landscaping businesses, new things are exciting. That curiosity, that drive to figure out something new, that's what drives us, a lot of us. And so when you have this process in place, you can take that kind of pent up energy because you feel like you're stuck in one area of the business, and you can shift focus with new energy, new resiliency, new excitement, and work on the next pillar. And then you can keep rotating through working on these 3 pillars over time. And that's ultimately what helps your business grow. So using an operational system inside of your business, having a methodology, and just focusing on how do I make, significant and effective improvements in the CEO method, consistent branding, effective sales, and operational habits. With that mindset, that's what's going to lead you to success and help you beat your competitors and help you grow year over year. And it helps us with the entrepreneurial ADD that I have, at least. I know some of the people I work with have it as well. It helps us change focus, but still be focused on the overall view of how do we grow the business. So I hope that's useful to you. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today. If you need any help with growing your business, even if you just want to have a conversation and understand how we can serve and help you, you can reach out at landscapemarketinghero.com. I appreciate you taking time to tune in, and we will see you on the next episode. If you're ready to begin your journey up the Green Mountain, where we show you how to build a low-stress, high-profit, $10 million per year landscaping company, then head over to landscapemarketinghero.com to download your free growth map. One of our guides will be there to help you along the way. Again, that's landscapemarketinghero.com.